you all for being here. I'm going to turn it out to Dr. Antoinette Harrell. This is exciting. This is the first time she's presented for us.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's so good to see some new faces and old faces, but welcome. My name is Dr. Antoinette Harrell. I've been researching my family for 34 plus years. And as always, we're always excited to find photographs. And so my finding photographs, not only of my family, but people who inspired me to write and function in Images of America, Americans of Tangipahoa St. Before moving to New Orleans in 1972, my family lived in Tangipahoa Parish. So my family history started in St. Helena and became Mississippi, and I just thought I wanted to do something with those images. Until the lines have their own history, historians, the history of the hunt will always glorify the hunter. And I know when I started researching my family history, walking into the libraries, into the state archives, I did not see any pictures, very seldom, of people that looked like me. I wanted to change that narrative in 1994. I knew that was my job. I received a phone call years ago from Dr. Howard Nicholson at Southeast University. He said to me, I want to go out to lunch, I want to propose something to you. And he helped to give me the idea to the book. I dedicate this book to those that share their family photographs, because we all know that sometimes during our genealogy, we can really meet some selfish relatives who do not want to share any photographs. Well, let me say this. I always say to myself that my ancestors or family pictures do not belong to me exclusively unless I took the image. But most of the time, we have family members who have those photographs tucked in an envelope, in the attic, in a trunk, somewhere, and years later they lose them. What inspired me, I was missing. My ancestors was missing. They left out African Americans out the history book and tried to extract all knowledge. And today we're facing another issue, critical race theory. Let's just erase it all. But unlike what my ancestors couldn't do in that time period, they could write and publish books. So I took advantage of preserving these rich images. I chose Arcade Publishing Company because I wanted to do exactly what some of the other authors said here, preserve the images. Oftentimes we think about preserving images by going through the process of buying archival boxes. But I thought another great way to preserve it was to share them in a book. I also created private Facebook pages that I share with family members. I can count the family members that share with me. But I said, I'm going to be better than that, because I know if I share that photograph, then that way it will not be lost. Like most people can say they lost photographs during Hurricane Katrina. It wasn't the furniture, sometimes it wasn't in the house. It was that one picture of grandmother or my great-great-grandfather that people still today wish they would have saved that photograph. Getting started, there's basic online information I had to follow. I had to create a list of photo sources, set a marketing list, and I had to pick out several good pictures. Now, during my process of collecting, not only my family, but in the community, I wanted to pick the best. It wasn't just my choice. Arcade Publishing had a lot to do with helping choose the image as well. Matter of fact, they chose the image on the cover of the book. I had to actually send them about 4 images. It could not be of one individual, it had to be of a group photograph. The book has between 180 to 240 images was chosen, and I had to meet every deadline they gave me. The book consists of 127 pages. Captions had to be added to many of the images. So a lot of my images, I had to know something about that person in the picture, which made a big difference, because a lot of us have unknown pictures that we wish that somebody could identify for us, but the last person died, or maybe their mind is not there, it was cloudy. I find it happening to myself. Okay, who is this? Okay, it's coming, it's getting there. It's time for me to write this down and tell who is this person.
The modern term is
I want to choose 9 chapters for my book, African American Families in Florida Parishes. I want to really document the educational system, educators in the book, churches, especially African American churches, those who served and fought and died in the military, the civil rights leader in the Tangipahoa St. Helena Parishes, women and men who are considered pioneers who really put their life on the line to make those parishes be what they are. African American entertainers and who are they? One of the things I would like to say that every image told a story. Every image tells a story. It tells that sometimes they have some type of meaning. They was dressed in their finest. You know, oftentimes they didn't smile a lot, but they got dressed and they stood there for those. So that let me know they had two nipples to rub together some kind of way to take those photographs. And it was very important for me. If I got pictures from someone, I wanted them to tell me about the photograph. So I learned a lot just about photographs in the community. This is my great-grandfather. My mother had this picture hanging on the wall before Hurricane Katrina, one of those big photographs, and she left on the wall and crumbled. But I'm so happy that my mom was a sharing person because she allowed me at that time. They didn't have the cameras where you could just take it on the wall. I actually had to take that photograph off the wall, promise my mom, do everything in my power, not to have it crumble up on me to make sure that we took the image. Here's what the image told me. It told me where some of them lived, who are some of the family members, what school, churches, or organizations they attended, if there was some financial means. And if you took a picture back in those days, you had some type of financial means to have those pictures taken. People in the community shared photographs with me. I had to really assure people that I would not take that photograph. So what I did, I purchased myself a portable scanner. I went to their house and I sit there with them and let them give me the picture, or I asked them, can I get this one? And I give it right back to them. Because that was very important to establish a trusting relationship. Because if one person would have got on the phone and said, nope, don't let her come in there, she's going to take your photograph, I never said, close the door, don't let her come in. That photograph been missing ever since that girl was here. You know how they say it, right? So I had to make sure I put it back in their hands so they can get on the phone. Oh yeah, share those photographs with her. She's not going to take it from me. What did it take? What did it take to take the photographs from me? No, it wasn't at any time that I took any photograph out of home because there was too many photographs for me to keep up with. I would have to create a filing system, put it in there with their phone number, their email address, and I didn't want to take a chance of losing somebody's precious photograph with their grandmother. Like I said, gaining trust is very important. I enjoyed moving out in the community, in the homes. What I realized that during the civil rights movement and during Jim Crow period, we assumed there wasn't any pictures, but there are pictures. There are a lot of pictures inside the attics, inside the closets. A lot of times I tell some of the former educators, I say, you know, what you all are doing, you're educating the silverfish, the roaches, the rodents, and all of that inside your attic, thinking that your daughter, who have no interest in this, is going to do something with it one day. You know, and what inspired me to do that was in 2003, I had an aneurysm. 2 months from that, I lost my leg. So I knew that my two sons would have went in that office and said, you know what, we don't even want to watch half of this stuff. Let's just put it outside in the trash. And that would have been 30 years of history. And it was, I don't know these people. Do you know? No, I don't know. Because they really had no interest in it. So once they went through all the things that they thought they was valuable, this would have been outside. I found so many photographs of different church events, schools, weddings, just not only the photographs, but I was building a relationship. And I must say, since I published this, many people who shared photographs with me, they're no longer with us now. And their collections, how long did it take? It took me 5 years. Because first of all, I had to build relationships with people. It took me 5 years, and what I found in doing that is that when I went to their house and they took their little photographs out, they was going back down memory lane. So their memories was being jogged now, and things that they had worked so hard to try to hold on to. The grandchildren do not want to hear it anymore. It's like, Mama, you told me that 10 times. How many times did you tell me that? And so they stopped talking. When they stopped talking about their aunts and their grandmothers and the times, then we lose a big valuable part of history. So I just want to say we need to be very patient and let them talk. Because each time you go and talk with a person, they're going to remember a little bit something that they didn't tell you last time. Just, and one of the things that was required was that no matter what condition I found the picture in, I couldn't make any corrections to it. They wanted in the original state. This picture told me that, number one, I knew this was my uncle, that they had a car. I know that was my grandparents' land. So I got to see some things, and so pictures do tell stories. What inspired me to really want to do something different, my second cousin, Eddie Jackson Jr., St. His grandson is here today with me. He was the family photographer, and he videoed all the family history during the 50s and 60s. And when he passed away, no one could find him. Everybody knew he had it, but no one knew what happened to him. And so I said, let me learn something from what happened to him. I want to make sure that I share. I want to make sure that I disseminate what I have learned with other family members and people in the community. This picture dates back to the early 1900s. This, once again, is my great-grandfather, Alexander. We don't know who the other people is, and just because I don't know them, it does not mean that we get rid of the picture. We hold on to photographs. This picture here is of my great-grandmother and her children. So for them to be dressed like that, it was either a Sunday, but for everybody to be home, it told me it could have been a funeral. It could have been a funeral, because not all the time that everybody attended church when they got to be grown. You know, that was something we did when we was kids. So that told me that was something else could have been. And it was at her homestead. The homestead building. This was another photograph that was in the collection of other family members. Once again, this is my great aunt and my great uncle. Now, the book is not based upon my family, but I just wanted to share some of the beautiful photographs that I found, and which has inspired me to publish another book, because I had so many of them left over. And after I published the book, there was other people that called me and said, I want to see my grandmother in the book. You know, so now more people have opened up their collections to me. Look at this beautiful wedding, yes. One of the little girls standing next to the bride is my mother. So I was really happy to see several family members, including my cousin who owned the collection that we did not find. So it was very important for me to learn from his lessons. What lessons could I learn? Share. Let somebody know where it's at. If I have a collection that's that important to me, I can also make plans in my will. Not just to give them to someone because they're a relative, but make sure that person has an interest in the collection. So what I started to do from what I had left, I opened up a collection called the Antoinette Harrell collection at the Center for Southeast Louisiana Studies. So now someone can go there, and there's pictures in there as well. Once again, somebody had some money, although and possibly made those dresses. So it tells a lot, you know. It just this is my aunt's wedding. It showed a lot of family unity. That's what the pictures told me. And oh boy, did they like to dress. So, you know, picture taking days was taken serious, not like, you know, we have fun, they didn't have fun, you know. It's a serious moment. And my grandfather with the sleeves too short, but that was his Sunday's best. And this is my great-great-grandmother. She just told me she wasn't a tall lady because her shoes was very big. And once again, you see people dressed in fine. This Mandy Jones, we shoot the midwife and landowner. So as I collect these stories, I learned a lot about the people in these images. This was a great treasure for me here. A lady shared the picture of the Amen Color School, class of 1946. And in the book, I had to cite and give photo courtesy to the person that shared that photograph with me, and I was happy to do that. Westside High School, 1958. During integration, a lot of the photographs were thrown away. People told me they went to the dump and they saw nothing but photographs and photographs. And I was so happy that in some people's homes, you know what, there's more in people's homes than what we realize. This is when they had the tailors instructors and teaching how, sewing in the school. One of my favorites is the Choctaw Indians, Melinda and her daughter. So I learned a lot about this family just from photographs. And the person who I turned the collection over to, because let me just share this. There was a little old church, and the church was so tiny, but it belonged to Melinda's son. Melinda's the one in the middle. Her sister on the end was like she told some kind of animal, and her daughter. Well, inside the church was a trunk, and the guy said, I'll let you in the trunk if you buy me a beer. So I was happy to buy 6 beers in that trunk. And he said, well, you can take whatever you want. I'm glad I did, because it has been sitting there for years. I'm more than sure now he's gone. But I did get some things out. Shared it with her descendants. Their house burned down. And now those images are lost. But I did scan some of them and kept a lot of them. That's one of another favorite pictures. It's beautiful to show the pictures. Believe in taking. I believe in taking pictures. I found this to be one of the great, because you don't see the baptisms anymore like you used to down the river. So I knew that this took place, and the person that was baptizing the person, I got information on them. So it told a story of the community. Yes, I hope to publish another book. My new book will I have over 100 images right now, and still collecting every day. Images from the new book. This is what came in after 1960. This was before integration. I used to have like a homecoming gathering, so I have that photograph. And this is some of the ones that came in. The one in the green, I just found that they produced the album in 1972. And we're going to have that album. I guess they're going to put it on CD, kind of like go and sit it on. And this lady here, Miss Walker, she has so many beautiful photographs in her closet that I'm hoping that she will do something with it, because the person who she thought was going to do something was her daughter, and she passed away. So it may be hard now to look at it. But I also want to add in the farmers. They're making sugar cane or syrup the old way. So I spend a lot of time with them documenting that traditional way of doing it. The only thing they don't do is use a horse or a mule going around and syrup. They don't grind it. In members of Willie Harrison, in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, he died some years back. He had over 40,000 pictures. And his children went to the home. They cleaned it out. On the trash, another photographer picked it up. He has published 4 books, and now East Baton Rouge Parish Library has scanned 200 of those images. And online, there's a website, the Willie Harrison Collection, where those images will be preserved. And I'm so happy for that, because a lot of times our children do not value what we value. And sometimes we wait till we get up in age, and that becomes very important, But we need to teach them the importance of those family stories, those family photographs, and so many things as it relates to family. So now I know when my time comes that I have put things where I want them to be. That's very satisfying to know that I have shared so many photographs and so many documents. I tell it to them, they don't believe it. So most of the time, if they're not talking about genealogy, I'm not talking about that much. One thing that I can say, we live more in the past, the present, and the future. Miles always tell me to let me live in the past. I said, you know, I hate to say it, but sometimes I feel like I learned more from dead than I could hear. And you know, that's not what we want to say, but there's lessons that they want us to know. You know, so those pictures that we do have, we need to make arrangements for them. And I'm glad in the book I was able to do so. And proud of it. And also at this time, we're looking at using some of them for documentary production.
Once again, you have documents, like we had, and you thought they were destroyed. There's a restoration. I think Michael did it. I have all of this here. Then they got back to the plastic bags. And I went to Chicago and they had it with the handle of kid blood. Because he was afraid to lose the ink. And he said, oh, and all of that, all of that always, they have unity. What you call it, because they put it in. Yeah, they were able to restore a lot of that to Chicago.
That was great.
So when you have images, or you think it's wet or whatever, and you and all that, you can bring to restoration company, and your time is very
Right.
You got to yeah.
I want to share that a couple of years ago I had an aunt, well she was a cousin like an aunt. She was 82 years old. She was really like a divorce. And go inside our home, yours can get into. But because of my expertise as a genealogist, somebody said, do not throw anything away. So I put on my gloves and I started going through every envelope, every year. Not only did I find checks that she hadn't cashed, I found very beautiful photographs down in her favorite place to sit in a recliner, tied in a rubber band and all through there. So you have to learn that if you're cleaning somebody's house out, don't be in a haste to throw things. Take your time and go through everything, even the letters. Right now, we're in the process of transcribing my VHS tapes from 1992. I used the company Lexi, but I also was told that Family Search now and with the equipment that you bring and transcribe, and I was really happy to see that I was able to save a lot of those VHS.
Tabletop scanner, but do you have a recommendation on a portable scanner?
I use a Canon, but I've always used Canon. So it's a little flat bed, and I talk but now it has evolved that you can have a scanner but I would not want to take a chance and putting somebody into it, they go through it, and then come out the other side. No, I wouldn't do that. But it was very, very important not to damage that person. Photographs, I even had gloves on for those pictures to make sure my thumbprints was not damaged and asking my patients.
So how about you, Court? You bring
You said that eventually I will
So I wish you luck on that. I know the time is running out. But I do want to say that I was very cautious. She was flash drive, stern drive, sit down, crash drive. And then the storm, so I had to save all the format so it will crash. But I think I just shared this so many times, and I learned something with my house, my sister. And there's other people. One of the things I would like to suggest is that if you have grandchildren, family members that come to the house, take the photographs out of the car. Make it important to them. Because after a while, the grandkids are going to tell the story just like you as if they never met that person. One of my cousins, she pulled out a box of photographs and family members came over and some of them magically disappeared. So I would say that be careful with that as well. When you're pulling out something, you control the box, do not take the box around, and do not get the water. I would not allow them to bring water or any type of shoes around any of my photographs out that way right now. Because accidents will happen. And some of the photographs that my cousin had is the ones that was printed on those 10. And I see that was back in maybe 1870. And so but those they want us to tell their story, and they keep those pictures for us. And we just really honor them by telling that story. And so I hope that by the end of the year that And now I did come across a lot of photos that were stuck to that paper. You know how they used to do those albums a long time ago and like glue. I did not pull those pictures out of that book. I just scanned it and then copied.
If you let you get it, but you're not
format and the resolution of the accident. I have some good. But certainly, if you never publish a book, just publish a family. There's too many someone like shutterflies and other things. Give gifts to family members. That's what I give. I don't buy presents. I make presents and I give them because I feel like it has a meaning, to share those photographs, But I'm glad that I got them because I was under the impression that there was no pictures of schools, churches, going to people's homes that I keep thank you cards in my car. Color was a person, and if it's an elderly person, it's nothing wrong with bringing some flowers. They be looking for you, and then they'll start putting out everything else in that closet and sharing it with you. And look, it's in the attic, baby. I can't go up there to get somebody, right? And I find that it also helps jog their memories and keep that communication. My mother died in 2020, and I'm so happy that I stopped being even in my own way saying, oh boy, did she go again? She told me this 20 times already. And after a while it became a norm, and I was so happy I did this.
If they say you good, look, I'm good.
Thank you.